Hello, my name is Jameson Keller with Agency RM. Thank you for joining us today. We're here today to talk about how to sell final expense to our Medicare clients utilizing the Legacy Safeguard program. Today we have Alan Pauley with Legacy Safeguard here to teach us exactly how to do this. With that, take it away, Alan.
Great, Jameson. Thank you very much. And everyone listening to this webinar today, I really appreciate your time. And I'm really excited about it because when you see on the screen here, do you want to make an additional $50,000? That's very, very conservative and certainly obtainable. And I'm really excited about it because what I'm going to show you is not only a couple of products in the final expense market for you to go back and see your clients that have already trusted you with other insurance, but we're going to give you a system. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. And we're going to show you a system that is proven to increase sales, persistency, and face amounts for you as an agent. And so let's jump right into the webinar today. And I really appreciate Jameson organizing this webinar, and really am excited to share with you really what kind of untapped market is available here with the final expense market. These statistics that you're showing on this or seeing on the screen really give you an opportunity to show what kind of incredible potential you have. These statistics come from LIMRA, Life Insurance Management Research Association, and what it really shows you over the last 5 years in this country, life insurance sales have decreased, but final expense sales over that same 5-year period have increased. And so you have an opportunity to increase your income dramatically by adding final expense to what you do on a day-to-day basis, because the clients you're seeing in the senior market, they're buying final expense. They're just buying it from somebody else if you're not offering it to them. And so your Medicare clients, many of you, if not all of you, have Medicare clients. You've seen regarding Medicare supplements, Medicare Advantage. They are the exact same people that need coverage for final expense, and helping them only with their Medicare is no longer enough. And so what our CEO, Brian Adams, did was wrote a book called The Postseason Game Plan. It's a Medicare agent's guide to successfully advance through the Medicare season into the postseason to become a senior market champion. As you can tell by the cover of this book, it's kind of written on the football theme, but it's really geared around the Medicare agents. AEP, many of you, if not all of you, are engaged in Medicare Advantage products, and you have a certain season that you want to go out and see all those clients regarding Medicare Advantage, and that's great. We want you to go do that as well, but then use our postseason game plan. It's really a step-by-step process using the Legacy Safeguard program that I'm going to introduce you to today to go back and see your clients that are already trusted you, and now you can talk to them about final expense. If you need a copy of this book, please get with Jameson, and they will be able to get you a copy of this book. And as we all know, AEP's over. Postseason is here, and all champions are crowned in the postseason. And so we want you to be that senior market champion by using Legacy Safeguard. But if you're going to be in the senior market and the final expense market, you really need to have 3 products available. You need to have a good single pay irrevocable funeral trust available through National Guardian Life. You need to have a good simplified issue level pay and immediate graded death benefit options, which is available through United of Omaha. And you need to have a good guaranteed issue whole life product, because all 3 of these products are necessary. You never know what you're going to run into when you talk to your clients about life insurance, and you don't want to walk away from that sale. You want to be able to address any of the health issues that might come up with your clients. And so having all 3 of these products in your portfolio will help you address those final expense needs for your client. And so we partner with a great company that I want to just share with you a little bit about today, and that is Living Promise. Living Promise is with Mutual of Omaha or United of Omaha. It's a great product. It has a great brand name. And as we all know, we're about 4 years into the baby boomer generation. Well, that baby boomer generation knows Mutual of Omaha. They all grew up watching Wild Kingdom. Wild Kingdom has always been sponsored by Mutual of Omaha, and it's a company these baby boomers know, they're familiar with, it's a company they're comfortable with, and it's a company they have a higher respect for and that they want to do business with. And now you can offer their final expense product. And so as you see on the screen, their level product is issue age is 45 to 85. Their graded plan is 45 to 80. The face amounts are $2,000 to $40,000. Their graded plan is $2,000 to $20,000. They have underwriting for the level plan, a tobacco, non-tobacco, a single class for the graded, and there's 2 riders available for the level plan, and that is the accident death rider and the accelerated death benefit rider. The death benefit in the first 2 years will be 110% of the premiums paid for deaths due to natural causes. The application will help you determine whether they're going to have a level and a graded plan, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But one thing that's important for you as an agent to know that all the applications that come into Mutual of Omaha, their level plan, 92% of all the apps are issued at the level plan. 8% are issued graded. The average premium for the level plans, $886. The graded plan, $908. Their average ages for the level plan is 61 to 63, and for the graded plan, 66 to 68. The base amounts on the average for the level is $16,186, and the level or the graded plan is $13,136. The reason I show you this is, if you remember the very first slide that you saw in this presentation was, do you want to make an additional $50,000? Well, premiums of $886 annually or $908, just to give you perspective of what it takes to hit that $50,000 mark. If you have average premiums in this range, you only have to sell 1 to 2 final expense policies a week, and you'll actually make closer to $77,000 at a street level commission. And so you really can have a significant impact on your income by taking care of your final expense needs of your clients. And United of Omaha has a great product for you to be able to do that. Quick note about Mutual of Omaha, you may be contracted for their Medicare supplement product, but that does not give you access to this Living Promise product. They've actually siloed it, and so it's important for you to get with Jameson and his team to make sure that you are appointed with Mutual of Omaha for the final expense. You can have your United of Omaha or Mutual of Omaha Medicare supplement contract and keep that intact, and you still can get contracted with Jameson for the final expense product as well. Now, just a couple of notes on their underwriting. As we said, they give you a paper application. It's very easy to use. They have Part 1 and Part 2. If insured answers yes to any question in Part 1, they're not going to be eligible for Mutual of Omaha. You will need to have a good guaranteed issue product in your portfolio. But if they answer yes to question 2, then they will be eligible for the graded plan. Or if they answer no to all those questions, they're going to be eligible for the level plan. And as we saw earlier, 92% of the apps coming into Mutual of Omaha get issued at the level plan. And they really make it as easy as possible for you as an agent to do business. They give you a great paper application. They have an online iGo application. And they also have a point of sale interview where you can call Aptical. They'll go through the personal history, and you will immediately get the eligibility results. You'll know if they, first of all, don't qualify at all because of health conditions, or they'll qualify for the level or the graded plans. Why that is so significant for you as an agent, it helps the policy for your client get issued quicker by using the point of sale interview, and for you as an agent, it will help you get paid quicker as well. This point of sale interview right now is taking about 12 to 15 minutes when you're in the insured's home. So United of Omaha, Mutual of Omaha, they're doing all they can for you as an agent to make it as easy as possible to do business with them. And then what I'm really excited about is they have developed this marketing mailer for you as an agent. Now, as you see on the screen, they can customize it just for you. They will put your agent name, your contact information, any information you want at the bottom of that card. They'll put it there for you, and they'll give you a choice of the ages that you want to put on this card for the male and female, and show the appropriate prices for your clients. Mutual of Omaha will print this up for you at no cost to you. So all you have to do is contact them, and they'll give you the quantity you're looking for. All you have to do is put the postage on it and a label to get it out to the clients that you want to mail it to. This is really cost effective. We've had agents already using this. This is a great door opener for you and your clients to show them the Mutual of Omaha product. And so if you need some mailers for final expense, this is a great opportunity. But when we talk about final expense, and really what I want to talk about today is changing the game of final expense, and that is Legacy Safeguard. Because Legacy Safeguard really does change the game for you and for your clients. And agents that have used this program increase their sales by over 1,000%. Now, that sounds like a large number, but I got to tell you, you know me today as the Executive Vice President of Legacy Safeguard, and I've been in this position for over 5 years, but prior to coming here and working here, I was a marketing vice president for a large marketing organization on the East Coast. We sold Medicare Supplement and Medicare Advantage. We did final expense, but really did it more by accident than on purpose. Brian Adams, my CEO, came down, introduced this program that I'm going to introduce you to today to our agents, and our sales for final expense increased over 300% with agents just like yourself. And actually how it turned out is I did that for 5 years, and the people I was working for decided they were going to retire. I went to another large IMO, and the same situation. They were Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage. That's where they were focused. Sold final expense. Brian came in, did our introduction to this legacy program again, and our sales increased in 299% with that agency. So I was a personal user. I had no clue at that point in my career that I was going to come work for Legacy Safeguard. But I'm an advocate of this because I've seen it work, and it can work for you too in your business, because Legacy Safeguard for you as an agent will help you set more appointments, make more presentations, and you will close more sales using this program. Legacy Safeguard offers value to everyone. For your clients, it's a comprehensive legacy planning, end-of-life planning service to help them leave a lasting legacy and be long remembered after they're gone. See, everybody wants to leave a lasting legacy. They just don't know how to do it. And now, with Legacy Safeguard, I'm going to show you how to help your clients be able to leave that lasting legacy. It gets you away from talking to your clients about burial insurance and final expense, and start talking to your clients about leaving a lasting legacy, because that is something they want to talk about. And because you partner with Jameson and his team, you have access to a turnkey sales and marketing system that is proven to increase sales, persistency, and face amounts. It all begins with the Legacy Safeguard membership benefits that you can offer your client at no cost to your client. It's that legacy planning, end-of-life planning guidance and assistance. It includes legacy planning services, end-of-life planning guidance and assistance, support for survivors, estate planning support, celebrating life events. Those are some very robust benefits that you can offer your client at no cost to your client. Now, what does all that mean? Well, let me just give you a quick overview of these benefits that you can offer your client at no cost. Begins with our legacy planning service. It's a one-of-a-kind legacy planning software program that helps your clients share with their loved ones any kind of historical information, lessons they've learned in life, family values, could be special family events, might be financial information, locations where they have assets, anything that they would like to leave as part of their legacy. They can begin using the legacy planning services. We also have end of life planning guidance and assistance. We have advisors on call at Legacy Safeguard 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. We can help a family member plan a memorial service. We can help them locate a funeral home. If it's in part of the country they're not familiar with, we can help them locate that funeral home. And we can help them work through the process with the funeral director on how the payments of those services are going to be rendered. Because one thing we do know is those funeral directors are not going to render any services unless they know how they're getting paid. And we also offer support for survivors. We have a bereavement travel assistance that we can look, if they have a family member that needs to travel across the country, we can check and see if there's other discounts for bereavement travel, and we'll pass those on to the family. We also have grief counseling support that we have a whole network of counselors throughout the country that we can direct a family member to a counselor in their area if it's necessary. And we also have estate planning support. We can help locate an estate planning attorney. Again, no matter what part of the country they're from, they get a free living will with this membership, and they get discounts on estate planning legal documents such as last will and testaments, power of attorneys, or other estate documents as well. But we also wanted to make sure when this got developed, the person just didn't have to pass away to be able to realize these benefits, that they could actually celebrate life today and use these benefits today. And so when your client becomes a member of Legacy Safeguard, they get a 20% discount from any FTD florist in their area that will provide them a discount on any kind of flowers, gift baskets, wine baskets, any kind of merchandise the FTD florist offers. They also get a Walmart prescription drug card that can really offer significant savings to your clients. Now, I have to tell you, when Brian first came down and introduced this to us when I was the marketing vice president, I was very skeptical just because there's so many drug cards out there. I really wasn't sure what kind of value it was going to hold, so I was pretty skeptical. Well, here's what happened. When this got developed, the Legacy Safeguard office is in Dallas, Texas, and there was a gentleman that works in our office that grew up in West Texas, and he gets an allergy shot every month. Cost him $175 a month. When this got developed, he decided he was going to test it to see what kind of value it does hold. Took that prescription with the prescription drug card to Walmart, and the price of that went from $175 to $75 a month. So it really can offer significant savings to your client. And then one of our most popular items is a free family legacy DVD. Your clients, when they become a member of Legacy Safeguard, can send us up to 40 pictures. We'll put them on a DVD, professionally done with music that they can play at whatever event they would like. We've done them for memorial services, weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, retirement parties, essentially you name it. We've done a DVD for it. What's significant about that for you as an agent is at the end of that DVD, we're always going to put your name and your phone number. So whoever's viewing that will see you are the agent that provided it to the client. Some great name recognition for you as an agent. Now, that's a high overview of these benefits, but there's some very robust benefits here that you can offer your client at no cost to your client. We want you to do that, and we'll show you how to do that and transition right into a final expense presentation all at the same time. But before I go there, it's important for you to note that your clients can get the same membership out on our website. If they get that through our website, it's going to cost them $99. But if they get it from you, as you're making a presentation, it costs them nothing. So it's a great value-added benefit you can offer your client. We want you to do that and then use our turnkey marketing system. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. We really are the experts when it comes to final expense. We're going to show you how to offer those benefits and walk away with a sale for final expense all at the same time. Everything that you're going to see today is available for you out on Legacy Safeguard University. That's www.legacysafeguarduniversity.com. We have online training. We have videos. We have marketing guides. We have client marketing pieces, pre-approach letters, and much, much more, all available for you out on Legacy Safeguard University. Now, it's important also for you to note, this is an exclusive marketing opportunity. You have access to it because you're partnering with Jameson and his team. So it's important for you to get contracted with the carriers we use with Legacy Safeguard, and that is United of Omaha, Transamerica Premier, and or National Guardian Life. You have to get contracted with one of those three companies, or I would recommend that you get contracted with Mutual of Omaha and with National Guardian Life. That will give you access to all our materials for Legacy Safeguard that you're going to see today and much, much more. And so when you do register, it's going to require that you put your agent number in there. It's going to take about 24 hours for our system to validate your agent number. And then when you do that, you'll get an email back from us that gives you access to the Legacy Safeguard University. And when you do register, we're automatically going to send you a starter kit. Again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. We're going to provide you all the tools necessary for you to be successful offering Legacy Safeguard and Final Expense. And this kit's going to look something like this. In this kit, we're going to provide you the Legacy Safeguard enrollment forms, the Legacy Safeguard sponsorship form, which is a referral form that I'm going to show you, the client presentation brochure, the client presentation DVD, a Final Expense worksheet, and a comprehensive marketing guide. All of this is going to be sent to you at no cost to you. This will provide you all the tools necessary for you to get started, and I'm going to show you today how to use these tools in a presentation to your clients. Now, one of the important pieces of this kit is what we call the Comprehensive Marketing Guide. It's a book we wrote that will provide you innovative strategies to help you be more successful offering Legacy Safeguard and Final Expense to your clients. In this book, we're going to give you call guides. We're going to give you the exact verbiage to be successful calling and setting appointments for Final Expense. We're going to give you the actual presentation on how to offer Legacy Safeguard and Final Expense to your clients in this book. We're going to show you how to estimate final expenses. We're going to show you how to get referrals. We're going to show you how to overcome common objections and close more sales, all in this comprehensive marketing guide. But if you don't want to read it, you want to just listen to it, we actually put this comprehensive marketing guide in a CD. You can pop it in your car and listen to it as you go down the road. Or if you want to watch it, we actually put the whole comprehensive marketing guide, the presentation, in video form. You can watch it out on Legacy Safeguard University at your leisure. You can watch the whole thing in its entirety, or if you want to just break it down, maybe you just want to go over how the close works. We broke it down into 4 to 6 minute segments, so you can just watch that per segment of the presentation. So the other thing that we're very excited about is you're going to see this presentation today. I'm going to walk you through it, but 2 weeks from now, when you go set that appointment, you're going to say, now how did Alan do that? Well, that's why we developed this new flip chart presentation. It's an opportunity for you to see the presentation today, but then this flip chart will help you when you're in front of your client to be able to walk through this program. As you see on the screen, we have two versions of it. We have a printed version, and we also have a downloadable version. The printed version, as you see here, has the printed copies as well as that folder presentation. Just so you know, we've sent a PDF of this form to Office Depot, and that whole presentation that you're seeing on your screen costs $15. It's very affordable for you as an agent, but it's very effective because you don't have to memorize this. You can just use it when you're in front of your client and walk through the whole Legacy program and walk into and transition into the final expense sale. Or if you'd rather download it and you have a laptop or a tablet, we have that version as well. Both those versions are available for you out on Legacy Safeguard University because we want to make it as easy as possible for you to make this presentation with your clients, because we know when you use Legacy Safeguard, you're going to increase your sales and your income all at the same time. And so in that comprehensive marketing guide, we give you all the techniques on how to set those appointments. We're going to give you the call guides. If you want to door knock, which you can do outside of AEP, we'll give you techniques that are proven to be successful on how to get in front of your clients. and then we want you to be able to make that client presentation. And so I'm going to walk you through today how this presentation works when you're in front of your client. So you set the appointment, you go to the client's home. The first part of your presentation is what we call the warm-up. Now, the warm-up is a small part of what you do with your presentation in front of a client, but it's a significant part because the warm-up is where you get to build that rapport with your clients and your clients with you. The warm-up is significant because this is a relationship business. You might be there with the best product. You might even be there with the product with the best price. But if these people don't like you, they're not buying from you. And so it's important to build that relationship with your clients and let those clients build that relationship with you. Techniques that have proven to work for us is ask for a glass of water when you get there. That'll help break the ice. They'll be more than glad to get you a glass of water. As they're getting that glass of water, ask if you can sit at the table, the kitchen table. Many people feel comfortable sitting around their kitchen table. Families make many of their decisions sitting around the kitchen table. And for you as an agent, it gives you an opportunity to kind of spread out and make your presentation. While you're making your way to the kitchen table, make some small talk. The important part about small talk is it has to be about them. It can't be about us. Because at the end of the day, they don't care about us. They care about themselves and they care about their loved ones. So look around the home. Do you see pictures of their children, their grandchildren? Ask them about their family. Get them talking about their family because it'll help you introduce them to Legacy Safeguard later on. The other important part about the warm-up is you can't let it take too long because you're there to make a presentation. So as you get to the kitchen table, we want you to pull out this client presentation brochure that will be part of the kit that we send you. And you need to know our most successful agents use this client presentation brochure on every single appointment. The reason they use it is when you open it up, on the left side, it talks about, talks about the Legacy Safeguard membership benefits, and on the right side, it talks about final expense. We don't want the clients reading ahead, so we recommend when you get to the kitchen table, pull this out, fold it in half, and then just read the benefits right there on Legacy Safeguard. It helps you. You don't have to memorize them as an agent, and it's really visually attractive to the client because now they're getting and seeing what it means to be a Legacy Safeguard member. We also provide you in your kit a Legacy Safeguard presentation DVD. It's about 3.5 minutes long, but it'll provide your clients member testimonials of people that have used Legacy Safeguard in the past. It describes the benefits in even greater detail than I did today. Just gives them a whole overview of what it means to be a Legacy Safeguard member. It really reinforces that brochure that they were just seeing you present on Legacy Safeguard. It's very effective when you're in front of your clients. And then also in your kit, we're going to provide you an enrollment form because we want you to enroll them into this program. They get all these benefits at no cost. Easy to fill out. Put the client's information at the top. Put your agent information at the bottom. Put the company you use. So when you use United of Omaha, put United of Omaha there, your agent number. Our fax number's on there. Turn around and fax it to us. About 2.5 weeks later, depending on the volume of registrations we get, your client will get their membership kit. Now, as an agent, I would recommend that you sign up for this too, because these benefits are available to you at no cost, and it'll help you be more effective when you talk to your future clients because you'll be a Legacy Safeguard member. You'll understand what that kit looks like and just help you be even more convincing when you're in front of your clients. Now, if all you do is enroll them in Legacy Safeguard, you haven't made any money. It has not cost your client anything, and you've never addressed their needs for final expense. And so we want you to be able to walk them through this program, enroll them in Legacy Safeguard, get them comfortable with agreeing with you, and then we want you to transition right into final expense. And we have a very simple but very effective phrase that helps you do that, just that. So when you enroll them, then we want you to make this statement. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, we believe part of leaving a lasting legacy is protecting your family from the unexpected cost and the burden of your final expenses. When you make that statement, we want you to reach over to that brochure and flip it over, because that's going to begin your discussion with your clients about their final expenses. But I want to go back just for a minute. So this is a very simple but very effective phrase. When we talk about part of leaving a lasting legacy is protecting your family from the unexpected cost and the burden of their final expenses, is very real to your client. Because if you're talking to someone 65 years or older, chances are almost 100% that they plan for a funeral for somebody. Say, if they're 65 today, think about it. If parents were 30 when they're born, that means their parents would be 95 today. That's possible, but the life expectancy in this country is 78.1. So chances are they plan for a funeral for their parents, their spouse's parents, maybe even a sibling. And being in this market, we also know only about 12 to 15% of Americans have pre-planned their final expenses. And so this burden of final expenses is many times very real to your client. They also know they don't want to leave that same burden to their loved ones, because that burden is they just lost a loved one. They had to make decisions about things they're not comfortable with and that they don't know about. And they want that taken care of and not left as part of their legacy. They just need to know you can solve it for them. See, many of you, if not all of you, have talked to these clients about Medicare, Medicare Advantage, maybe home health care, long-term care, hospital indemnity, cancer plans, but you've never talked to them about final expense. They don't know you can solve this for them until you bring it up. And now with Legacy Safeguard, you can do that. So say this statement, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, we believe part of leaving a lasting legacy is protecting your family from the unexpected cost and the burden of your final expenses. When you make that statement, you flip this brochure over and then ask them a couple of follow-up questions. Have you and your spouse ever had to plan for a funeral? Let them tell you their story. Chances are they have. If they tell you that story and everything turned out wonderful because it was pre-planned, maybe they were one of the fortunate ones, that's okay, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. That is great to hear, because that is not the normal response and normal story I hear. But that's exactly why I'm here today, to make sure that when something happens to you, your family can experience the same thing that you experience. If they say it was the worst experience ever, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, that's exactly why I'm here today, to make sure your family does not have to experience what you experienced at the time of someone's passing. Ask them if they know how much it costs. What you'll find in this market, when you ask them if they had to plan for a funeral, they're going to tell you, and they'll be probably within the dollar of how much it costs. For whatever reason, they remember that cost. Now, they may say, well, it was $7,000. Wow, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, $7,000 is a lot of money to come up with all at one time. How long ago was that? Because in their minds, they may be thinking all they need is $7,000 for their final expenses. But now that you ask them, they're like, Alan, now that you ask, well, that was about 8 years ago. We want you to respond like this. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I'm sure it was a beautiful memorial service. If it was $7,000 8 years ago, how much do you think that same memorial service would be today? And then you remain silent. You let them think, because initially they may have been thinking all they need is $7,000, but now that was 8 years ago. They know it's going to cost more. Let them give you a figure. Whatever that number is, it's okay. It's going to help you set the tone for how to estimate their own final expenses. And so on the back of that brochure that you flipped over, we broke final expenses into 3 categories. The funeral expenses, which are the expenses that happen at the funeral home and the cemetery. That's one category. The second category is many times overlooked, but it's important for you to include, and that's what we call other family final expenses. Because even though someone passes, there are expenses that still come due. Rent, mortgage, could be credit card debt, hospital bills, medical bills, doctor bills, could be any kind of taxes. You want to make sure you include these family final expenses when you're talking to your client about their final expenses. And then the third category is the total estimated final expenses, and that's adding the funeral expenses to their other family expenses, equaling their total estimated final expenses. To help you do that with your client, we have developed what we call the finalexpenseestimator.com. It's at www.finalexpenseestimator.com. And no matter what part of the country you're from, you can use this, because we went out and surveyed over 15,000 funeral homes across the country to get pertinent information on funeral expenses and family expenses and their total final expenses across the country. So you can use this. The important part about using this final expense estimator is the numbers you end up with have to be your client's numbers. They can't be yours. If it's yours, it doesn't get personal to your client. And so we want you to personalize this plan. And so in your kit, we're going to provide you a funeral expense worksheet. This is really a personalized plan for your client on what their final expenses would be. Now, in your kit, you're going to get a paper version, but if you want to do it electronically, out at that finalexpenseestimator.com, you can do it electronically, whichever you're comfortable with. The other important part about using this worksheet is, as you're walking through this with your client, you need to be able to find out how old they are. Because at the end of this worksheet, when you get it completed, you're going to find out what their funeral expenses are, what their family expenses are, and what their total final expenses are. And each of those are going to represent a face amount. And you want to be able to plug in what the monthly premium would be for each of these face amounts at their age. And so as you see in today's example, the funeral expenses here are $10,640. Their family expenses are $6,000, and their total final expenses are $16,640. And so when you find out what those face amounts are, you're going to plug in also what the monthly premiums are. And then you're going to get to a point where we call the 3-option close. Now, what this does is provide you an opportunity on what face amounts are for their family expenses, what their funeral expenses would be, what their total final expenses. You plug in the monthly payment for each of those at their age, as you see on the screen. Now here's how this 3-option close works. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, as we walk through this worksheet, we see your family expenses are $6,000, your funeral expenses are $10,640, and your total final expenses are $16,640. In order to make sure the burden of these final expenses are taken care of and not left to your loved ones, which one of these best meets your budget? When you make that statement as an agent, if you did this on paper, you put your pen down and you sit back in your chair and you wait. You remain silent. My manager always told me, the first one that speaks loses. These are their numbers. They're looking at this saying, okay, now which one of these can I afford? Now, a couple things happen during this time of the presentation. Is they see this $16,640. Sometimes they get sticker shock because they were thinking $7,000. You asked them what it would be if they had that same service today. So they give you a figure of maybe 10, 11,000, maybe even 12,000. And so they'll many times ask you, Alan, where did you come up with $16,640? First of all, you want to welcome that kind of question because they're paying attention to your presentation. You go back to this worksheet and say, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, as we walk through this worksheet, these were your numbers. These are not my numbers. Are these numbers not correct? And again, you remain silent. You let them look at this. They're looking at this saying, oh, these are my numbers. This is what I need to cover my final expenses. If they agree that these are their numbers, it just got personal to your client. Go back to the 3-option close and ask them again, now, which one of these best meets your budget? If they say, well, I think those funeral expenses may be just a little high. Okay, it's their plan. Let them change it. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what number do you think should be there? Let them give you that number. Change it. Make the appropriate change. Go back to the 3-option close. Make the appropriate change here. And ask them again, now, which one of these best meets your budget? Because either way, it just got personal to your client, and they know they don't want to leave this burden as part of their legacy. Now, as an agent, no matter which one they choose, you just increase their coverage for final expense, and you're walking out of there with a sale, increasing your income. This 3-option close works. Now, the other response we get many times is, Alan, I'd really like to take care of my total final expenses, but I can't afford $66 a month. I could afford $50 a month. Well, if they told you that, as an agent, they're saying they're buying at $50 a month. They just need you to tell them how much they qualify for. So rather than have to pull out a rate sheet and try to reconfigure, okay, at their age, $50 a month per 1,000, how much do they qualify for? We made it very simple for you. It's out on your smartphone at www.ratecal.com. You can put in that $50 a month, put in their age, and instantaneously it'll tell you how much they qualified for. You can pull that application out, go right into the assumptive close. It makes you look even more professional than you already do. It just makes the whole presentation run smooth. You want to close more sales? Use the Legacy Safeguard program. Use that worksheet, the 3-option close. Everybody likes options. Giving your clients choices will help you close more sales than you can ever imagine. This program works. And as we said earlier, this presentation that you just saw is available for you either in flip chart form where you can print it, or if you want to download it on your laptop or tablet and use in front of your client, that presentation will be the presentation that you just heard me walk through. But when you're done closing that sale, filling out that application, you're not done, because we have a whole referral program that helps you build your business and keep down your marketing costs using the Legacy Safeguard program. 30 referrals a week equals 3 to 5 sales. That's going to be a great income boost to you, and the marketing cost is virtually nothing. We wrote a whole book on earning referrals, a guide to earning referrals and building a thriving business. You can download it, read it online, whichever you prefer. It's out on Legacy Safeguard University. But when we talk about referrals, there are really 3 reasons why agents don't get referrals. First one is agents don't ask. I got to tell you, when I was an agent selling Medicare Supplement in the Midwest, I went from lead card to lead card, house to house. I never asked for referrals. Well, in our business, the answer is always no if you don't ask. I'm going to show you how to ask effectively here in just a minute. The other reason people don't give you referrals is because you just learned some personal information about them. They're concerned about their confidentiality. They want to know from you that no matter who they would refer you to, that you would never share their personal information with anyone without their permission. So make sure you reiterate that with your client, that no matter if it's their brother, their sister, their best friend, their neighbor, you would never share that information without their permission. And then the third reason people don't give you referrals is because they don't know how you're going to handle the referral. How are you going to approach these people? Address that right up front. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, is it okay if I call them? Is it okay if I went to their house, knocked on their door? Do you want to introduce me to these people? Get them comfortable with how this process works. If you address these 3 concerns right up front, you're going to earn more referrals than you can ever imagine. So we want you to use the worksheet, that 3-option close that sale, then address these 3 concerns right up front, and then ask for referrals like this. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, we believe part of leaving a lasting legacy is helping others leave one too. And now that you're a member of Legacy Safeguard, you can sponsor up to 6 people to receive these same free Legacy Safeguard membership benefits that you just received. Who might you know that would like to leave a lasting legacy? And if you've addressed those first 3 concerns, especially if you're talking to a husband and wife. Normal response is six all I can give you? Absolutely, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. I'll make an exception. I'll write them on the back. Absolutely, you'll take as many referrals as you can get. Now, quick story about this referral program. I do these seminars across the country. I happen to be in Raleigh, North Carolina. Had a room of about 60 to 70 agents, and we were going over the referral program in depth that afternoon. So I asked the agents there, how many here are good at getting referrals? Had about 4 or 5 people raise their hand. There was a guy who was in the back of the room. I'd never met him before. I called on him. I said, how many referrals you get in a week? Excuse me, in a week. And he says, well, I get about 4 or 5. I said, well, that's pretty good. I said, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to go through this referral program. My challenge to you is when you get back to work next week, I want you to use my referral program. At the end of the week, if you don't get any more than 4 or 5, then just go back and do what you're doing. But if you get more, I want you to call me. He says, okay, I'm up for that challenge. I'll do it. So we did. The following Thursday, this guy calls me. He's ecstatic because he got 37 referrals using this program. Now, I didn't know this guy, but I kind of gave him a little hard time. I said, hey, it's only Thursday. You could be working Friday and Saturday. You could be getting more referrals. He laughed a little bit, and he said, you know what? I've been in this business a long time. I've never gotten 37 referrals in my life. He says, I had to call you. I said, well, that's good, but here's what we got to do. We got to track them, because if all you got were 37 names, you didn't accomplish anything. He agreed, so we did track them. He closed 26 of the 37. Now, here's the rest of the story. I didn't know this even as we tracked his business. This guy was a Medicare agent, only sold Medicare Supplement, only sold Medicare Advantage. He had never even considered offering final expense to his clients until he came to my meeting. What happened was his final expense sales exploded. He ended up being #1 with a life carrier that year. But also what happened that he didn't count on is his Medicare sales also took off because his new final expense clients became his Medicare clients. This really can help you build your business, keep down your marketing costs. Use this Legacy Safeguard program. And this sponsorship form will be in your kit, and that flip chart walks you right through this referral program. It really does work. I just trained a gentleman from Arizona on the phone last week. He got 20 referrals the first time he used it. He just called me and told me that, hey, I used it, I got 20 referrals. He's excited about it because it's 20 people he didn't have to go see, and now he can go see them, offer them Legacy Safeguard, and transition right into final expense. Many of you, if not all of you, have clients you've seen in the senior market. Maybe you've seen them about Medicare, Medicare Advantage, home health care, long-term care, hospital indemnity, cancer plans, but you've never talked to them about final expense. Well, we provide you the pre-approach letters on how to go back and see your clients. These are available out on Legacy Safeguard University. And I'm going to use Medicare as an example today, but this letter could be tweaked no matter what your market is. And it goes like this. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, thank you for trusting me with your Medicare needs. Because you're such a valuable client of mine, I would like to offer you a free membership into Legacy Safeguard. And then in the body of this letter, we talk about Legacy Safeguard, but we provide you a phone script that goes right along with this letter to go back and see your clients, offering them value-added benefit of Legacy Safeguard, and now you can transition right into final expense. Why is that significant? This statistic should stand out to every single one of you. 78% of shoppers with a previous relationship with their agent bought life insurance when their agent presented it to them. 78% of the time, 7 out of 10 of previous relationships means they bought something from you. They know who you are. If you go back and see them about life insurance and final expense, 7 out of 10 of them will buy it. See, they're buying final expense. It's time they start buying it from you. We also provide you, sorry we missed you card. So when you use a referral program, you know, you set the appointment. They may even know why you're coming because they talked to their brother, their sister, their neighbor. but they may have never met you. Excuse me. And the byproduct of today's market is when you go knock on the door at the allotted time you set the appointment and nobody comes to the door, well, when the seniors don't recognize who's at their door, many times they're not coming to the door. And so we want you to pull out this card if that happens to you, put your name on it, put your cell phone number on it, leave it in the door. If they're there when you leave, many times they're going to come to the door, pull that card out, they'll realize it was you they had the appointment with, and you can go back and have the appointment just like you had it scheduled. Very simple, but very effective. We also have lead programs with Legacy Safeguard. We team up with Lead Concepts, and you get a discount. Normally it's $4.90 per thousand for mailers. You tell them you're with Legacy Safeguard, and they'll give you a price of $4.30 per thousand. They have a whole wide variety of leads for final expense. They'll walk you through the program. Their phone number is on the screen, 1-800-283-0187. And if you need lead programs, they will be more than glad to help you, and they'll talk about the demographics and what kind of experience. They're very good at telling you if you have pick an area that they just recently mailed, they'll tell you that. They're not going to just mail it when they already mailed it for somebody else just recently. So they'll make sure you get the best value you can out of that mailer if you want to use them. We also provide newspaper inserts, magazine ads already created. We can personalize them with your name and phone number if you want to run any of those ads in your local publications. Just get with Jameson and his team, and we'll make sure we get those to you. We also have additional training as well. If you've never sold Final Expense, this is a book, again, we wrote on offering Final Expense to your clients. You can download it, read it online. Everything you've seen today is available out on Legacy Safeguard University. The online training, the videos, the marketing guides, the client marketing pieces, and much, much more is all available for you as an agent. And as you heard my personal story of using Legacy Safeguard prior to coming to work here, you want to increase your sales this year, you want to give yourself a raise, use the Legacy Safeguard program. You will make over $50,000 if you make 2 sales a week, in addition to what you're already doing in the senior market. This will help you impact your business significantly, and it will help take your clients' final expense needs away from their family. It'll help be able to resolve that, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We've got all that you need to be able to do this. You want to increase your income, you want to give yourself a raise, use Legacy Safeguard. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Alan, and thank you to everybody who joined us today. For any and all support related to Legacy Safeguard and any of our Final Expense products, please reach out to Agency RM at 855-721-8088 or service@agencyrm.com. Thanks a lot and happy selling.